What's up, guys? Y'all give me an audio check. EQ's in the house. How's the audio, Eric? Sometimes it gets muffled. Kind of waiting to see how many gets in here tonight. Okay, thanks, EQ. We got 5 watching. Y'all get in the chat room. Come on, guys. Miss Pam's in the house. Hello, sweetie. Guys, I've been programming a monkey showed up. Let me give you a wrench, buddy. Glad to have you, holy monkey. This past couple of weeks, I've been working with Ernst Hamilton's Hanger. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you. I've been programming AR636 this week, and I'm so over it. I've tried to get. I emailed Dave Marshall, Air Marshal, to see if he can help me program this, but I don't know. I've changed profiles on it over and over and over. I've done the model builders out of the RC groups. I did that program in it. Now I lost safe in this receiver. Ever since I used the model builder profile from that flight engineer in RC groups, his program knocked safe out of my receiver, or I removed it, and I haven't been able to get it back on. And right now, the gyro's working. It's working fine. I had to go back in and reverse the elevator this past time. I got the 1.0 meter Park Zone Wildcat program in this ME VF109G Park Zone. It's 1100 millimeter. And I still, every time I bring my radio, the sticks down in the corner and flip the gear switch 5 times, it does nothing. So this is beyond me. It worked. I've tried the P51 Mustang profile in it. I used a T28 profile in it, and the safe worked in both of those except the P51. Now, I think that was just a AX, 3X gyro only in that receiver profile. But in the T28, the safe worked in my plane. The Wildcat should be working in it, but it's not. Hello, Victor. Glad you made it. I've got the programming cable, the USB programming cable, and I don't have the Bluetooth, but I've been programming it through the USB off my computer tower. I've been using both programmers, and I'm not sure why Spectrum is so hard, so complicated to just add a simple profile to that receiver. They make it so. I mean, I bet I've had this plugged up probably 20 times this week, fooling with it, and I still haven't got it in the plane like I want it. Because I'm gonna hand toss this part zone 109. I'm gonna hand toss it. I want safe on it when I hand launch it. And right now it don't have safe. It's got the gyro working, but that's it. I really want safe program in on it. And I don't want to do a 3 flight mode. I don't fly in flight modes where you can cut the gyro off in middle position, gyro on, then third position, gyro and safe zone. I don't fly like that, guys. I either want it on or off. And that's usually on my gear switch. And I think the switch up above it, that's my rates. It's on a 3 position switch. I got low, medium, high rates. And I think it's D switch up on top, right here off my throttle side. That's where I got about a 3 position switch for my flaps. Even, half flaps, and full flaps. And I usually leave my right hand alone for the sticks on the elevator and ailerons. I don't like to be messing with switches driving a plane. That's why most of my switches I'm dealing with over on my throttle hand. But I'm not sure how I'm going to get safe back on this receiver. I might have to call Spectrum. If Air Marshal, I know he's moving right now and he's busy, but I seen him an email and I seen him a thing on Messenger today, and I haven't heard back from him, so I'm sure he's busy. But hopefully I can get this thing straightened out. Spectrum, it's not hard to deal with Spectrum when these programmers, all they do is build a profile, or you build a profile that you want to fly with. Then basically you just save it to the receiver. All you're doing is flashing a file to the receiver. It's plain and simple. I get it. I understand it. The model builder that the flight engineer uses in the RC groups, he just built a program where it's just a profile builder of a model that you want to change values in and add this and add that, or take away this and take away that, and program your receiver through it. When you save it, it automatically saved it to a file that you elected, the file that you brought up in there. it saves it to a file. Then when you get it into Spectrum Programmer and you upload that file while your receiver is connected, it downloads that model to your receiver automatically. And it goes right in there to it. You can take it out and put it in your plane and check your directions and everything. And like my elevator was backwards. So I took it back out of the plane, plugged it back up, went in there, reversed my elevator in the gyro, and it worked fine. So it tells me there the programmer's working. The safe select is gone. And I don't know if I might can show you this program that I'm using, what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get it up here right quick. Video file. No, I don't want to do that. Share screen. This is it right here. If y'all can see that. This is a safe model building program. Let me move it over a little bit for y'all. Okay. This right here, this SRM file, that's how the profiles are saved. And you just load one in here, and you can name it, and your serial number will come up on your receiver. And you can elect, however, let me see if I can get this back up. This is crappy the way this is done on, but you elect pins forward, tail, label towards the sky, and it'll show up right here in this area. But this is a program that messed up my receiver. And it really, this other program I'm using, this is the best program to use, well, the only program to use in this one here. This is your regular Spectrum programmer. It's a beta, and this is how you get in and change. I've got this F4F Wildcat program in that receiver right now, and everything's working except safe. And I don't know how I'm gonna get that back in there, but it's kind of awkward that they can't modernize these programmers to make it easy for these pilots to get in there and change this stuff. They make it so complicated, it's hard to understand. I understand that we're just building a profile. And once you click load that model, it's loaded. And you can go in and monkey with, if you want bank levels different, say they're 150 and you want them a lot less, you can change to 130 all day long, program it in. Limit angles, you can change those and program it right in there. and flash the receiver, and it's done. Somehow or another, that RC group program took my safe away from me, and all I did was just load the direction it was mounted in my plane, but I didn't put any kind of flight programs in, like flight modes. I don't fly with flight modes. I'm not that kind of pilot. I got a switch on low, medium, high rates, and that's how I fly. I don't fly in flight modes like beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I don't fly that way. I throw my dual rates in with my expo and my radio. I'm ready to go fly. But all this is still new to me. I'm still learning. And if I can't trust these spectrums, AR-636 in these planes of mine, with this old ME-109, it's a beater plane, but I still don't want to wreck it. But if I'm not sure of these things, I'm not going to fly them. They got to be proven to me before, I'm fixing to send this thing up. But I've been working on this all week long. It's aggravating. Really aggravating. You get the gyro not flexing the right direction, well, it's going to flip you right into the ground real quick. And I've listened to 21 videos that Dave's made of the program of Spectrum AR-636s. Now I put a receiver in my big plane, and I put a B receiver in my 109. But if I ain't confident in these things, I'm not gonna fly them. It's got safe. Now I've had this one switching in the safe before, JCB. It's ever since I used that model builder from the RC group, when I loaded that into my receiver, it took a safe away from my receiver. And I've downloaded 3 or 4 different profiles from Horizon Hobby straight from their site into this receiver, and I go through the bind sequence, put the bind plug in, plug up the battery, receiver's flashing, unplug the bind button, bind plug, walk away with the radio, hit the bind button on the radio, flip it on, it binds. So you've enabled safe by doing it that way. And when I go to center sticks into the corners and flip the gear switch 5 times, normally it will activate my safe. And receiver will blink lights and off and on, and ailerons will, move, showing you that safe's activated. No more. It's not working. AX3X is working in the receiver, but no safe. I can't bind safe. Now I've tried it on a different switch on my radio, gear switch, and I went to the other side of the radio and flipped it 2-way, and it won't program it in. I can sit here to the cows come home, flipping that switch, and it won't do nothing. I don't know what happened, But I've got to investigate something that I did wrong in that program. It's nothing that the Spectrum programmer did. It's the one I got from my RC group. It's called Flight Engineer. He's got a big. He's made a programmer. He's done a lot of study and a lot of work on AR-636. It's the programming of them. What's up, Deuce? I'm kind of aggravated with AR-636s. What a pain in my ass. I bet I've programmed this particular model probably 20 times. And I'm still not happy with it. When you put these different kind of profiles in and you plug them up in your plane, well, you got an idea where you want to glue down the receiver or put the sticky tape on where it's going to mount in this particular model. It might not be where it was located from the last time. And my programmers don't ask for orientation, way it's setting. They don't calibrate it in my program. And see, that's all wrong. The programmers are to calibrate that receiver every time you mess with it. But it never asks me to calibrate it. You see, I've got the 300 extra programmed in one of the receivers. I'm going to put in a 540S Bossa, the 60-inch build. And see, in the 300 extra, that receiver is mounted on the bottom and the label is facing the ground. The pins are towards the tail. So I'm either going to have to reprogram that somewhere where I can mount that upright in the plane or turn it up underneath and mount it upside down. It's a pain in the ass. I've lost safe select in my receiver by using that RC group programmer the other day, and I've not had safe program. I've wiped the receiver out again, and took everything out that I programmed out of the programmer. Took everything out and threw it in the trash. Plugged up my receiver and cleared it like I was starting fresh again. I brought up a new model, downloaded it in there. The only thing I had to do different was reverse the elevator. And I went back in and reversed the elevator, left everything else alone, put it in the plane, it works fine. I cannot program safe back in it. Ever since I used that RC group pro, it's a file builder is what it is, a model builder. You go in there and you can get in there and modify the files. It's a bunch of crap. It's unnecessary. I agree with you there. They could build this crap a whole lot easier for people to understand. I get it. We're building a profile. I've worked with flight controllers before in iNav. I understand how to program and flash a receiver or a flight controller. I get it. I understand it. And this is the same thing in Spectrum. You build a profile or take one of their profiles and you just flash the receiver with it. You take one model out, wipe it out, and you add a different model in it. That's all there is to it. You might have to go in and reverse, some controls in it, but that's no problem. But people that's wanting to put these AR-636s in a different plane, I bought these used from a guy a while back, probably a year or so ago. And I didn't give that much money for them. I know what they come out of. He programmed some different models in there for me before he sent them to me. But since then, I've got into programming them myself. So I can get in here to learn this and change profiles in them when I want to and use them in anything I want to fly them in. But it's not that simple. I've got an Admiral 6 channel that gyro plus in one of my planes I can take out and put in this, but I really don't want to be swapping receivers in and out of planes. Get a screwdriver and take a hammer and knock them through it. That's a good way to eat them up. Be able to throw it out in the yard or throw it on some bricks where they ain't gonna burn up something. Well, Deuce, I want safe in some of these hand tossing models. They're great for hand tossing. You can throw that thing and if it's in safe, it just take off right out of your hand. It won't wobble till you get your hands back on the sticks. It just takes off, just a smooth flight right out of your hands. And that's why I like safe in these hand tossing planes here at house. I can just send it and don't worry about it. And right now, this receiver is junk to me. It's got the gyro working in it, but it ain't got safe select in it. It might fly fine with a gyro in it. Never flown this plane, so I don't know. This is the one I got from Shadow Ops about a year ago. I got it, the whole tail end of the plane was like a wet noodle. It's in a park zone. Mr. Smith, BF 109G. It's 1100 millimeter. I got working flaps on it. Somebody cut the flaps on it, put the servos in it. I don't have the retracts in this one. My Fokker Wolf 190's got the retracts in it, but that plane don't have flaps. This one does have flaps, and it's just got fixed landing gear in this one. But I was going to put that AR-636 in it. It's fighting me tooth and nail to get it programmed. I've spent a lot of late nights up taking that thing in and out, programming, hooking up the computer, putting it back in the plane, checking it out, plugging it back up the computer, putting it back in the plane. I've done that probably 20, 25 times and still ain't happy with it. If y'all know how to get a hold of a air marshal, y'all got his phone number or you can text him, kick him in the nuts and tell him to answer my email. I seen him a text message in Facebook Messenger this evening. I know he's moving. I can't throw nothing left-handed. Nothing. Look like a sissy out there trying to throw something. No, I'm just saying this spectrum programming. I mean, all the later, newer radios got the forward programming. I get it. I understand it. My DX6 don't have forward programming, so I've got to do everything by cable, or I've got to get a Bluetooth connector and hook that up with a either on a tablet or a phone. I might have to buy that little adapter to adapt my phone plug into a USB, then plug it in and connect to it by Bluetooth to program it that way. But right now I'm doing it with a cable. What's up, Scotty? I'll give you a wrench, buddy. I'm glad you dropped in. They need, I mean, I've done technician work all my life. I'm not a technical engineer by no means, but if I can take somatics and put burglar alarms in and fire alarms in a building, a commercial building downtown Nashville, that ought to give me some credit in my ability to program stuff. And this is way too complicated for what they're trying to get done. They need to build a program, a program for Spectrum that's more user friendly. I don't like reading manuals. I don't even like looking at pictures. I like to figure this out and go on about my business. But at this point in time, I've done everything I know possibly that I can do. I might have to backtrack into that program, the one that took safe away, and try to get that game back in there. I don't know. Wild Bill, what's up, buddy? That butter's looking good. You got to teach Pam how to do some cooking. She got a big laugh out of that. I hand toss. I'm right-handed, and I hand toss right-handed, and I'm all the time fumbling trying to get back down on the sticks on my radio. And usually in my hand tossing planes, I like to throw them in safe. That way they just take off and fly just as calm and straight as an arrow. But because they leave your hand and they're flying. A lot of hand tossers want a torque row to the into the ground to the left, or they want to dive into the ground some way or another before you can get on the elevator. So hand tossing, you got one hand off the sticks. My left hand's over there controlling the throttle and rudder. But before I can get, sometimes planes going in before I can even get my hand back down on the controls. That's why I like safe on hand tossing. That way they can leave your hand, the bird is kept level straight on out. What's up, Fred Barron? Fred's in the house. We talking we're talking about programming AR-636s, a B, and it had safe in it, but it don't have safe in it now. One of these silly ass programs they recommended me to use took safe select out of my program and I ain't had it back in there since. And I wiped the receiver out and put new profile on it. I still can't program safe on it. It's a pain in the ass. I, there's a sequence to either you can bind the plane with safe or not with safe. And I've unplugged the bind plug, then go bind the radio. Then after that, hold the sticks down to the center, flip the switch 5 times. Normally that works, but it don't do it no more. I flipped it probably 50 times last night and still couldn't get it to talk. What a pain in the butt. And that flight engineer done that program. It don't say it's going to take safe out of your receiver for the rest of your life. It said nothing about that. What's up, Jackson RC? Yeah, yeah. You put the bind plug in the receiver. You plug the battery up, and once it's powered up, you remove the bind plug. And once you remove the bind plug, that's the procedure to do safe. If you don't want safe, you just leave it in there and bind. But I've unplugged it, bind it, and it binds fine. But when I bring the sticks into the inside corner, you bring throttle and ailerons down the bottom corner, flip that switch 5 times, that activates switch on safe on a switch, and I can't get it to work no more. Now, I even instead of using a gear switch like I normally do, I went over to the far side of the radio and tried a different switch, see if it was my radio, and the other switch on the other side won't activate it. So I really want it. I either want to flip it off or flip it on. If I take this bird off from the ground, I wouldn't be concerned about it. But my grass is kind of high, and I can cut it, and my wheels still don't want to roll on it. So I was going to hand toss this 1100 millimeter and get it up and flying. Then I'll bring it down, probably a 3-point landing, try to get it to land with full flaps on. But I really want safe to hand toss it. Maybe try another receiver. And see, I've only got one more 636, and it's in my OMP hobby 60-inch 540 edge. And that's the A receiver in it. 636A is in my 540 edge. And the 109, I put 636B in it. Both of the receivers got safe. But right now, this B receiver don't have safe at all. I can't get it programmed. Unless I'm doing something wrong, which I don't think I am. I've been doing this long enough. I know how to program safe and get in and out of the program. So I don't know. It ain't like it's my first plane I've ever had. But some of them profile models only had AS3X in them. Some of the older models didn't have safe. They just had a gyro. And those profiles you need to stay away from if you want to program safe in. But somehow or another, this program, I'll show you the program. This little thing took, I'm going to share it right here. This is a program, it's Safe Model Builder. You get this from the RC group. This is a program that I loaded my model in. It showed the model, the type, receiver it is, the serial number in the receiver, and you got mounting, switch setup, flight mode, panic mode, throttle to elevator mix, then advance. Then if you get in there and change all them profiles you want to use, hit load, well, it loads all the new information into that file. And you take all that file, take it into your Spectrum programmer, and load it into the receiver. You don't. This program only saves a file. It don't program your receiver. All it does is make a file for you to use in your receiver in the Spectrum programmer. So this is new to me, and this is what took Safe Select out of my receiver somehow or another. And I got to figure this out, but this program is no good for me because it wants to build up a flight mode. I don't use flight modes. Flight mode 1, flight mode 2. I don't use that. I got a 3-way switch. I use low rates, mid rates, and high rates. And that's what I fly with. And I don't, flight mode is set up for like beginner, intermediate, and expert modes. That's all that's for. I don't fly like that. I flip a rate on and that's where I fly at. But I'm going to give you fair warning if you do decide to use that program, you're liable to lose Safe Select. I'm just going to give you a heads up, guys. Deuce, good night, sir. I like your little shooting target I seen on Facebook. I don't know if I'll get it sorted out or not. I'm going to try. But I don't know, I'm going to yank that receiver out and put it in a box. Might use a paperweight on my desk. Oh, these damn receivers cost too much damn money. I mean, if you can't use them in a different plane, what's the purpose of giving $100 for it? I mean, Spectrum, Horizon Hobby, they charge good money for these things. And for not to be able to use it like what you want to, that's beyond me. Reckham Roy's in the house. That's my uncle. Where you been, Uncle? I'm nephew and he's uncle, pal. Anybody know how to get a hold of Dave Marshall? Tell him to give me a holler. Tell him I sent him an email and I'll give you my phone number for him to call me. I want to talk to his head since he's an expert in AR-636s. I hope he can help me. I'm about to pull my hair out. What is that article, JCB? Let me look at it. I'll read that after the show. I appreciate the link. I got to figure out something. I'm afraid I'm using. Let me see here. I'm using that right there. If you can see it, it's a long programming cable. It's to plug in a USB port, and it plugs into the bind programming like the servo lead, the other end. But this is how I program it. But if you can get a Bluetooth connector that you can hook up to your phone or tablet. If you hook it up to a phone, you'll have to get an adapter that plugs into your phone charger that adapts to a USB to plug in that Bluetooth module. You can get a Spectrum app and get in there and program by Bluetooth to the receiver. It's just a bunch of crap. They ought to make the same. I mean, it's not really complicated, but it's not working. So that makes it aggravating. I mean, I understand that I'm building a profile model in a file, and all you're doing is flashing it to the receiver. I get that. And that model profile, that model builder program that he built in RC groups is nothing but a program to build a file. You save that file, and when you open the Spectrum programmer, you connect you connect your receiver by putting power on it, and once it's listed as a device, you import that file into the program. Once you do that, it's on there. It saves it to that receiver. There's not much to it. It's easy. But something caused the programmer that I got from RC Group to remove safe out of my receiver. It pissed me off. It's junk to me like it is. Well, it worked before. It worked. The safe worked before I used that model builder profile program. I had safe select in the receiver before that. It has to be a Spectrum cable. I might have bought this. I don't. It's a TX something USB. It's a Spectrum programming cable. You can buy them off of eBay. You can buy them everywhere. They're about, I don't know, ain't much to it. Just a wire, just a servo lead connected to a USB. That's all there is to it. But you'll need one of these to program a 636. Ain't much to it. I believe they come out of V900s. E-Flight. I bought, I don't know, 5 receivers. I think I give $25 a piece for them. One lump sum. I bought them all. I got some AR-620s, one Admiral with a gyro in it, 2 AR-636s in the box. So I got my money's worth. One of them AR-620s up in my Bigfoot up there in a tree down there at Hendersonville RC Club. That's a brand new receiver up there in that plane. I'll never get back. If y'all price, I've looked at the prices of receivers here lately. God, they've jumped up $20 more. They're not cheap no more. I think a 4-channel Spectrum is $40. I think you'll have to give about $59 for a receiver. Now let me see. An AR-620 is like around $60 for an AR-620. Fred, I know how to program it. I don't know what I did to lose safe. And I wiped that receiver clean again since then and uploaded to a Park Zone Wildcat in it. And that binds with safe into that receiver. I rebound it to my plane, to the radio, and I went in and done the sequence on flipping the switch 5 times, and I can't get it to come on no more. I don't believe it's in the receiver no more. I don't know what happened to it. But I wiped it clean and put a E-Flight model back into it. And that should have put it in there. It's not come back on since. My 300 extra, I've got it flashed in my other one for the big plane, Uncle. The 60-inch Bossa build I'm building. I got the extra 300 flashed into that program, into that receiver. And it's working fine. Safe works fine on it. But I've been monkeying with this one trying to get orientation in the plane correct. I've had safe working in this receiver, in this plane. But since I used that program in RC groups, it hasn't worked since. I hope it ain't bad. You letting all the air out of my balloon, monkey. I reflashed it with a different model in it, and everything works fine in the plane right now. All the surfaces are moving in the right direction, and it's set up. The gyro's working. You spin the throttle up over 20%, gyro starts working. But programming safe in on a switch is stupid. It won't come back on. And I'm gonna try to get it nailed down, but right now I'm having trouble with it. So If y'all go into programming any receivers using that RC group, I might have to go in there. My understanding was that program would overwrite. I might have totally done it wrong. Who knows? That's a heck of a price, uh, Brad. I think I paid. I got 5 receivers. I think I I give like 25 a piece for them, and he had a lot of 5, and I wasn't sure where I was in it, but I popped on all of it, paid him one price for all of them, and I wound up with 2 AR-620s, one Emerald 6-channel with a gyro, and 2 AR-636s in the box. Yeah, I took the bind plug out. Once I fired up plugged up the battery with a bind plug in, and it started flashing, I removed it, went and stepped away from the plane, found the radio, and it binds. The bind plug's already been removed, so that program's safe into the receiver by doing it that way. But you take the sticks and bring them to the inside corner, flip your switch 5 times, that activates the safe onto a switch, and it won't do it no more. Well, I kind of feel like I'm defeated too, Pam, but I'm not ready to give up on it yet. I hate jumping from plane to plane, but I've got 2 I need to be working on, and this one got me stumbled. I don't want to leave this to go to another one to work on a motor mount, getting my balsa build finished. Yes, I want this one ready. This one's almost ready to fly. I've got everything ready except the damn receiver in it. I sent Air Marshal an email late last night. I sent him a message on Messenger today. I ain't heard back from him. I know he's moving. He's trying to get everything moved out of his house, moved to Tennessee. I know he's busy. Yeah, I've, I've, I started on Spectrum, and I understand it. I get it. I'm not a tactic guy or free sky or an open TX. I'm a Spectrum guy. I've been flying DXs from the beginning, and I understand my radio, and I know how to program these planes in it. But this one got me stumped. By all means, this receiver are bind to a switch for safe, and it won't do it. I could do it on camera for you, and it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. You need to be in high rates. Do what? High rates. To select a switch for safe? Come on now. I've never heard that. Check 6. Come on, talk to me about this. I need to be in high rates for that to work. Trying to get safe select on a gear switch. Come on now. Pam, I got a text message this morning at 5:50 saying Molly was loose. Really? It's in the manual. I had to check that out. I got rates on my radio. I got, I don't know, I got probably 60, 70, 100. I got 3 rates on a 3-way switch. I don't know what I'm going to do with Aaron Marshall in Tennessee. He's on the other side of the state. I'm in the middle, so we're good ways apart. I never heard that check 6. It's in the manual. Well, I try that here lately. Then at 5:56, Pam, I got another text from him saying that she was back up on the porch. When I got up this morning, Molly was out there on the porch like nothing had happened. And I went out there and checked her. She's all chained up. I don't know how in the hell she got off the chain. There's no way that she could get off unless she breaks her collar. So I've never heard that. Put it in high rates before I select a safe select switch. I always put it on gear switch, safe select. One of my planes has got safe select. It usually goes on gear, and I find and if it's got retracts on the plane, I'll find a different switch for retracts. Flaps always goes up on, I don't know, I think it's D switch. Flaps always goes on D for me, and safe's always on A, and B is my think B. It could be C. I can't tell. I got 3 position switch right above the gear switch. That's where my rates is at, low, medium, high. When all else fails, reading the manual. I don't like to read. It's like looking at a map. I know how to get there. We'll figure it out. Now I've got, this is a Park Zone Mr. Smith 109G, BF 109G model. It's probably a 2009 model airplane. It's very old. I was saying earlier, I got it from Shadow Ops. He sent it to me, and the whole tail end of the bird was so loose where they had wrecked it and flipped it and stuff. It's like moving a wet noodle. The vertical and horizontal on it, it's like a wet noodle. I said, well, hell, this plane ain't gonna fly like this. So I got in there and strengthened all that up. I glued it one night, slid toothpicks down in it, strengthened up the tail end. It's pretty pretty strong right now. I'm gonna try to put it up. I really want to put it in a safe because I want to hand toss it. But see, it's funny. The prior 5 or 6 times I've programmed this receiver, I've had safe on it, on the gear switch, and it worked fine. The only thing I had a problem with it was the receiver. Um, it wasn't orientation wasn't right for this model where I wanted to put it in at. What's up, Miller RC? Glad you dropped in, buddy. Let me give you a wrench while you're here. Y'all hadn't subbed to my channel, please sub. Help me out. I'll try to sub back to y'all guys. No, I haven't I haven't made a pass with it yet. I waited a week to get new motor mount screws, M4 50 millimeter. They're like 2-inch screws. I've got it set in there. Um, I've got 25 millimeter lengths in it right now. I really want to bring out the cowl another half inch. So I've got the longer screws in. I've been working on this 109 right now, trying to get it programmed with an AR636 in it. Having trouble with it. But Edge 540, it's on the back burner. I love AX3X. I, I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying bad things about Spectrum at all. I like their products. They fly good. One of my best models is a Park Zone, and it's got Safe Select in it and a AX3X in it. It flies over rails. It'll make a sorry pilot look good. That's me. It makes me look good. I need to teach her how to retrieve it for me so I don't have to get out of the chair, fam. I've tried. There's there's one of those E-Flight P51s that don't have safe, and I don't want that model in nothing now. Safe is just a good tool I like using when I hand toss a plane. Because it leaves your hand straight as an arrow. It ain't trying to nose in. If it's got torque roll, it's not going to go in because that the gyro, the safe select will keep it level. I don't care how much torque it's got. It'll come out of it. And this 109's got a lot, it's got 3 bladed on it. So it's going to have a lot of torque. P factor, what they call it, P factor. It's going to P to the left when you leave your hands. And I really want that safe select in it. I got 5 acres here, and where I'm flying is outside my boundaries, really. But I'm flying over 2.5 acres that I got myself. But I'm really using part of my neighbors on both sides of me flying. And I really want things to be calmed down, not real. I got trees down the lower lot. I want to stay out of them things. So I don't want to get too crazy here on my property flying. I want a real controlled airplane. That way I can fly out here and ain't worried about getting in a tree or getting somewhere where I shouldn't be with a plane. I've got Miller RC, I've got a 300 extra, and I just teetotally love how it flies. In fact, I got a feeling that 540 Bossa, the 60, is going to fly better than my 300 extra. So I already know I'm going to love it. That's one reason I bought it. The wing loading on the 540 extra, it's probably going to weigh about 7 pounds, probably 7 8 pounds for flying weight. But when I made it, I'm gonna go back down to Hendersonville RC Club, fly it down there on the lake. It's got a bigger field down there I can fly over, and it's kind of open. I got woods on near the lake, and the west side of the field there's trees. I'm not gonna be 3D in it. Just sport air bat flying, the way I like the sport flying. Cuban eights, rolls, barrel rolls, victory rolls, jelly rolls. I've had my 300 extra for, I don't know, going on 2.5, 3 years, I guess. And the elevator foam hinge and it just fell apart. And I've already fixed it once, but I haven't flown it since I fixed it. I need to get it out and fly it some more. But you know how foam is. I don't have no polyacrylic on it or anything. It's just foam. It's got throws from hell on it. And I've got it tamed down as far as my rates with 50% expo all around on that bird. You can sling it around too. It's a lot of fun to fly. $2 meter. I don't have that plane for you. Yeah, it self levels it. You can drop the sticks on it and it'll fly level for you. This windy day, it'll help control it. The gyro in it. Your bank angles are limited and safe, but you can get in this program, and if you don't have enough bank angles, you can get in there and change those to more to your liking. It all depends on your fancy. All these gyros can be modified. You can get them more gain, less limits, more or less bank angles. Safe mode is a straight jacket to experienced pilots. I agree with you. It's a lot of fun, guys. I started flying with I think it was a XK X520 VTOL jet. That's how I cut my teeth on flying. But it's got a 6-axis gyro in it. You can take off in VTOL or just plain out on the ground taking off. Depends on the switch you're using. But I've flown it in my living room. Take off, fly around like a drone. And once you get it trimmed out, it just sit there and hover like a drone. A little VTOL, two-bladed, two-prop, little delta wing. I guess it's be called a delta wing, really. It's a lot of fun. Guys, this is a program y'all need to be concerned about when y'all programming this your program. Comes out of RC groups and safe model builder. So y'all be careful if you use this program, your 636s. I'm not going to recommend this yet, but if I get it straightened out, I'll do another live show and I'll show you what I did to get it correct. But right now, I'd say stay away from this program, because when I use this program, my safe does no longer work. Anybody out there in the internet world that sees this video, if you know what I did wrong, leave your comments down below. But Check 6 thinks I need to put things on high rates. I'll try it. And if it works, I'll get back with you and let you know. But right now, I don't have no safe select because of this program. So that's where I'm at with that. But I might can get it figured out. Who knows? I don't have no NX8s. You got forward programming in that radio, and I'd love to have it, but I don't have it. What I do, Monkey, is I don't know if I can bring this up. I might can find this for you and let you see the programs. Well, that didn't work. Let me close this. Let me open up another program right quick. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Hang loose, guys. I think I've got it where I can share it with you now. These are the different models that these are some of the models that you can just drop in that receiver. Look at all the different models. That's what I got programmed right now in it. This PKZ 1950 F4F Wildcat binding fly was safe. That's what's programmed in my receiver right now as we speak. I've had this T28 program. It worked with safe, but I thought I could do better with that program. And when I did do an orientation, it removed it. So this Wildcat right now is what's in the receiver. So y'all can see that there's a lot of planes that you can download in those 636 receivers. You got a lot to choose from. You can I mean, if you crash a plane, a new flight plane, and if you rip out the guts out of it, take that receiver and program it into a different plane, you should be able to find something similar to what you're flying. Should give you a good starting point, a reference on a gyro and a safe select setup to get you flying. You might have to get in there and modify the uh, plus or minus your gains and stuff, but you should be able to find something for your next plane out of that list I just showed you. Uncle, what happened to that 342? Just the ESC just burned up and give out on it. The motor get it too hot. It looked like it was pretty wrinkled after the crash. That's a nice looking plane. I hate that it went in. Spectrum's a good. I ain't got nothing bad about say about Spectrum. I like their products. I've been flying them for at least 3 years. I ain't got nothing bad to say about it. But I believe they could come up with a better programmer. The program is simple. If you don't want to go in and do all the settings yourself, you just go in there and pick one of those models I just showed you a list of and bring that in your programmer while you got that receiver plugged up, and it'll download that model right into your receiver, and boom, it's done. Unplug everything, put your plane, go fly. You might have to reverse some controls on it, but other than that, I mean, it's plug and play really. But when I use that other programmer, that's when I hit the snag. I mean, I haven't got it right since. And hopefully, going live a little bit, talking to my friends in chat, maybe we can come up with some kind of answer. But I'm kind of stunned right now. I'm at a standstill. Got FMS P40. I still need a maiden. Uncle, I still got a, a Bearcat in there. It's brand new. It's built with retracts. I got a brand new Cessna 182, a 55-inch Cessna that I haven't flown yet. I still got birds that's built. I haven't flown. I'll get to them one of these days. Call me tomorrow. I'm going to give you my email, 6. Send me an email. I put a comma in there instead of a dot, like a dummy. There's my email. Hit me up, 6. I don't know how to get a hold of you, but you can get a hold of me there. We can talk. Made on 3S usually work fine, reckon. You don't need to go balls to the wall anyway on a maiden. So I'd say a 3S. They'll probably fly just fine. To get it made, make sure it's a proven model. And after you get used to it a little bit, you can throw a 4S in it. I think JCB, he bought that FMS 540 Edge, little small millimeter 540 Edge. He said it flies pretty good. I just like bigger planes to fly. I'm kind of getting away from smaller planes. If I can afford a big plane, I'm buying big planes. This 60-inch I've got hung in a room back here. It takes up a whole wall. It's huge. It's 5 foot by 5 foot. A bed on my truck, a 6 by. I don't know how wide my bed is, but it's only 6 foot long. And my bird, it's 5 foot by 5 foot. There's no way I could carry it with wings on it. It's 5 foot long, and I can carry it in a 6 foot bed. Man, it's 10. I got a topper shell on it. Got a double stack topper on it, but I have to put it in corner to corner like it is now without the wings. It's a big bird. Don't let nobody tell you a 60-inch bird is small. By no means, they're big. Yeah, big birds, they fly so good. The bigger, the better. And the more I've got into flying big birds, the more I love them and more I want to fly them. And I look back at what I bought when I first started. I was buying these little bitty things, 700 millimeter and smaller, 30-inch. I got a 30-inch warbird over here right now, a P-51. I like flying it, but it's little. I like it. I'll be right back, guys. The P-51 Mustang. I love this one. It's 30-inch. It's a Hobby King. She flies good. Flies real good to be on a 2S. I fly it on a 2S, 950 milliamp battery. It flies like it's on rails. It's real smooth. Mike, SSI's in the house. Tell the grandkids to join. I'm not drinking tonight. Only drinking water, so I'll behave myself. Yeah, I love my little Mustang. It flies good. It's a hand tosser. You can. I got landing gear for it, but I took the tanks off of it, took the landing gear out of it, and it flies the best naked. It's clean, naked as it can be. It flies the best. So less drag, and it just flies. I love getting that thing up real high and going to a dive to the ground with it. She's honking. I love the dives with a P-51 Mustang and do a pull up. If you don't if you don't love a P-51, I don't know where your head's screwed on that. But it's one of the best flying warbirds I've flown. And I love my Park Zone Wildcat. It's like a mid wing, and it flies like it's on rails. I've got some more warbirds in there. A Bearcat. I got a Focke-Wulf 190. I got this 109 Park Zone. Let me think. What else I got in the warbirds? I got quite a few. I like to get a Corsair, but I don't have one. I like the way they look coming at you with that sloop down wing. They look wicked in the air. Corsairs, you can tell by looking at the front end of it or the back end of it, you can tell they're Corsairs. I'll probably get me one of these days. If you ever get a chance to pick up a P-51, you need to put it in your arsenal. I really enjoyed the one I got. Although it's a small one, she's a lot of fun. I think I got 6 battery packs over here fitted. I fly that, a 2S 950 milliamp. I fly those packs in like 2 different planes I got. I try to buy planes that I already got batteries for. If I can get 2 planes out of 1 battery, I'm double the fun. Fred, you need to move down here to Tennessee so we can get together and go whoop Air Marshal's ass. Kick him over there into Arkansas. He be right on the Mississippi River. We need to kick his ass over in Arkansas and tell him we don't want your kind over here. I'm just kidding. We're like Dave Marshall. I haven't, I haven't, they made a series of those size planes. I just hadn't bought no more of them. I bought that 51. I've had, I don't know, a year and a half, I guess. I've flown it here at home when I first bought it. Then I took it and I got videos on it and I flew it down at Hendersonville RC Club. Then I got some more flights of it here lately. I put up a flight video of it here one of my last ones I flew, I believe, this P-51. Who's Chris Wolf? I don't know who he is, JCB. Oh, RC Geek. He don't live around here, does he? I seen you flying the big E-flight one the other day, Roy, moving from California to Tennessee. Cool. Everybody's moving to Tennessee. What's up with that? He's moving there. I didn't know. I watch his channel. I'm subbed to his channel. I didn't recognize his name, Chris Wolf, though. I got Air Marshal moving here. I told him to come to Nashville. We'd kick it one weekend. He said it's not that far away, about an hour and a half drive. It's probably a 2-hour trip. If he is coming from Memphis, it's a little bit further. He's moving up like 3 counties down from the corner, west corner, north corner. Dyer County, I believe it is. San Diego. God, he won't know how to act down here. These Southern boys don't put up with a lot of that crap you bring from California out here. We're a different breed in the South. We live down here in the dirty South. They might play some dirty tricks on you too. Cost of living. I don't doubt I couldn't live out there. No damn way I'd pay their damn taxes and gasoline and their crap. I started flying at the AMA field here in Sumner County, and that's one county west of me. I flew up there about a year. Found out I can fly cheaper somewhere else. I had to drive a little bit further, but I've got a AMA field in Hendersonville, and it's beautiful. It's on a lake down there, Old Hickory Lake. And I can go down there as long as I got an AMA membership. I can fly down there for free. I don't have to become a member. But if I want to become a member of that club, it's only $25 a year. There's no water. There's no electricity. It's just you and what you brought. I've got a generator in the back of my truck, so I can charge my packs if I need to. We've got a 1200-watt generator. But I'm not saying I'm gonna. I try to just fly my packs out down there. If I take the 300 down there, I can fly it 2 flights without charging. I've got 2 batteries for the 300 extra. But I can charge those packs probably 15, 20 minutes probably. Put them back on the charger if I want to fly them more. But if I fly 2 flights, I'd be happy. Because I'll take more planes down there with me to fly. So if I take up 3 planes down there, maybe 2 flights apiece, I'm happy. When I leave that evening, I go find me a place to eat supper, then I drive home about 40 minutes. So it's a good little outing when I go down to the field. It's called Hendersonville RC Club. I've got a Bigfoot down there in a tree. Been down there a couple of years. Still up there, as far as I know. It's on the Corps of Engineers property. It's right on the water. And it's in a city park on top of that, so I can't go cutting trees. If I could have, I'd done went down there with a chainsaw and dropped that tree. I'd got my plane back. Yeah, it's a nice club. It's a nice field. I've been wanting to go down there and put up a big plane, put the camera on the wing of it, and let y'all see the water. It's right on the lake. I've got some afternoon flights down there. That's it's real pretty in the evening. As far as I know, it's still in a tree down there. I knew the way it went into that fork of that tree. It was sunk in. It hit like a thud. I knew it was buried in. It's so far up there you only see the nose of it from the ground. It's all good. I think I got about $200 in that plane. And all the battery and the receiver and all that. It added up around $200. Had to write that one off. And I bought a 55-inch Cessna 182 since then. That's my replacement. And I haven't flown that plane yet. But I need to get back down there. Do some flying. I got so much orange in the fire. It being in the city park and Army Corps of Engineers owns the property and the trees, you just can't go in there and do what you want to do to get your stuff back. And I was told they won't give you no help down there. City park won't. Fire department won't help you. I figured I could get the fire department to go down there in a ladder truck, go up there and get it. I heard that they won't do it. So I never did bother with it. I went back a time or two to see if the wind blowed it out, and it never did. It was still up there. So we just wrote that one off. Maiden flight crash. It had a dead spot in the servo. It kept pulling to the right. Every time I let off the sticks, it just veer off to the right for no reason. And I should have landed it and checked the plane out again, but I was trying to control it and trim it out. And that was bad on my part. I let go of the stick. There's GB Linden, the baby daddy. What you doing, baby daddy? I let off the sticks to see if I trimmed it enough and it to keep veering to the right on its own. And I checked and set that plane up here at home. It was fine. I got it down there and made it just acting crazy. Coming up for air. There you go. I knew your life would change forever, GB. And it's in a good way, though. I'm proud of you. Glad you showed up, buddy. We just hanging out a little bit, chit chatting with the guys. Talking about programming AR636s and the headaches I've been going through with it. There's my little P51. You got one of these, I believe, GB. She's a flyer. She'll go. I'm running an orange receiver in it. Look at the antenna wire hanging out the side of it. Yeah, it flies good. I flew it a few times with a landing gear on it and drop tanks, and I took them off one day, and that thing, it flew the best. That day I took, floated clean. It flew really, really good. I was real happy with it that day. Taking landing drop tanks and landing gear off of it, hand toss it, you rip it in the sky. A lot of fun. Jody is a doll. Jody is her name. How old is she now, GB? She's a few months old now, ain't she? $10 old. Good deal. I bet she's growing like a weed. £13. That's good for him, GB. Let him eat. GB, you gonna be able to do any more live streams? Come back and visit with us? We don't have nobody to talk about no more since you've been gone. I got a cousin's daughter named Jody. Her name's Joni. It ain't Jody, it's Joni. My bad. All right, Monkey, I'm glad you dropped in, buddy. I go live from time to time. It's not every week, but I do go live from time to time. We chit chat. You know where I'm at. Subscribe to the channel. Air Marshal. That's Butt Plug King. I believe Air Marshal, he'll start doing lives again one of these days. Maybe once he gets moved, gets settled in, get things straightened out. Might be a while. Moving, oh, that's hard on man. Oh, Lord. He's in a big house down there in Georgia, too. Yeah, I hate to be him right now. There's Slap Nuts. What's up, Spencer? I'm going to put some music on for you. You mean play some music? I know you like that music, Slappy. Oh, Lord. Yeah, it'll get better, GB. You wait till she's in her twos and threes. That's that's when they're in everything. You'll have to baby proof your whole house then when they're twos and threes. He says it's a small town he's moving into. The little town I'm in, I've only got two street lights where I live. It's a little hole in the wall. We call it Hearts Vegas. And I'm not sure. Air Marshal's moving into Dyer County. It's probably nothing but cornfield down there and soybeans. I'm not sure where he's moving. I think it's Dyer County. Union City's down up above where he's moving. Union City's where Reelfoot Lake's at. They had an earthquake there. That's a fault line all up and down there around that river. He's living on a fault line. He's moving where he's moving to. That's a fault line for earthquakes. Um, there was an earthquake that hit and developed Reelfoot Lake there in Union City. And it's got them old cypress trees in the lake. And it's real deep. Reelfoot Lake's real deep. Good fishing there though. Northwestern Correction Center's up in Tipton County. And it's right above where uh, Air Marshal is moved to. Northwestern, my son served 3.5 years in that prison. But he's doing a whole lot better since then. He's been out several years. Finally got his head screwed back on straight. No more shakedowns. Okay, guys, we've been streaming 2 hours. I think we're going to call this quits for tonight at 10 o'clock my time. Y'all say your farewells and goodbyes and stuff. Sliding burgers, Hawaiian buns, yum. A10. I've been working on a 109 Park Zone. Plane's okay. I got it ready to fly. I just programmed a receiver for it. Pain in the butt. Thanks, Miller. The 540 Edge will be the next one I work on. I got to finish building out the motor mount, lock, tighten all the nuts and bolts on it. I still got a ways to go. I got all the parts for it except the battery. But I'll probably just take some 3S battery packs I got, series them together for a while, fly it with it. I don't know. We'll just have to see what kind of weight I need up in the front of it before I fly it. Thanks, Fred, for coming by, buddy. Pam, GB, Miller, whoever's left in here, Slap Nuts. I'm going to try that high race in it, see if that works. Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong. I never heard of it before. I need to put my radio on high rates before I try to program it safe. I've never heard that, but I'll try it. I'll try anything to get it working. So I'm that kind of guy. Well, peace out, guys. Much love. Maybe see you next week or see you in a show somewhere. Good night, guys.